So we are going to play Metallica Master of Puppets all the way through. We will talk over it. We will pause it. The whole point being is for us to reflect. It's a retrospective, so to speak. If you want to listen to the whole album without us talking, go ahead and do that now. Do you remember the first time you heard this album?
No, not at all.
I've been told that I was listening with buddies at like the age of 10, 11 or so in buddy's basement. I think I remember, but I don't remember, like really remember it. It was still too much for me. You know, I didn't really grasp what I was listening to.
Came out in what, 87?
86.
86.
Yeah. You know, this takes, you really got to be, I don't think you have to like know rock and roll and already have to be versed in order for this to hit you, but it kind of helps.
You have to be and I've always said this about heavy metal in general, you have to be predisposed to rock and roll and hard rock in general in order for this to have the impact that it should. I mean, if you were listening to Kenny Loggins your entire life and somebody played this, you'd hate it. Probably.
I think it's the opposite, though. Maybe Kenny Loggins is the correct example. I just feel like if you like rock and roll at all, like this is going to, especially listening with an objective ear, you really can't hate heavy music. Like if you hate heavy music, because to me, the riff in Danger Zone, I'm like, well, that's a heavy riff.
It's not.
But this is just a different level to me of like songwriting perfection.
I couldn't agree more.
Let's kick it off. Smith's favorite things. Master of Puppets, kick it off with Battery. I would love to like go back in time to really listen to this album for the first time and just be like, because Metallica more than any other band probably just has the ability to like, you know, you never know what they're going to do next. And whatever happens, it makes so much sense when it happens.
Except for Saint Anger.
Except for Saint Anger.
Then yes.
Yeah. Battery, Master of Puppets.
Penny Lane.
You're an idiot.
Battery. From Master of Puppets.
That couldn't have happened any better.
This and the last one. There's no better bookends to an album. You know what I mean? Like it's like Battery and then Damage Incorporated. Just the two of the most crushing songs of all time. Bookend in the album with just this crazy musical proggy heaviness just in between it. You know.
This was my first real impression of, and I didn't know it at the time, of like how prog rock can fit into like real heavy metal.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cliff Burton.
Cliff Burton and Lars. Because
mostly Cliff Burton. Because after Cliff, it really went away. It largely went away.
Yeah, but Cliff was such an intangible that, I mean, like Lars is really responsible for the arrangements of the songs.
Right.
You know what I mean? Cliff was a huge listener of classical music, folk and Simon &
But
Garfunkel
that's where the progressive influence comes from.
But I mean, they still were very progressive later on. But it was much more regimented, like and Justice for All. It was regimented. It was like.
See, I totally disagree.
Really?
I don't think that, except for what's the song that Cliff had writing credits on?
To Live Is to Die.
To Live Is to Die. Except for To Live Is to Die on And Justice for All. And Justice for All is straight thrash.
Oh, it's
to me.
I don't. I mean, it's thrash.
And they
prog thrash.
and I don't get any like prog influences on any of their albums until probably Death Magnetic, and definitely their newest one. There's no funner song for me to play air guitar to than Battery.
It's pretty fucking close. Every playlist that is titled something to the effect of fight or brawl or anything like that, it starts and ends right there.
Yep.
When people talk about who's better, first of all, shut the fuck up. I can't even really make that an intelligent conversation with people because all I just want to do is tell them to shut up. But I listened to what other bands were doing then, and it's not even like there's not like there's peers like fucking Slayer was really good and fucking Megadeth was awesome and shit, but like the level of songwriting with this fucking band and this album particularly, it's just heads and shoulders above everybody else, from production to arrangement to riffs. Every song has at least 5 fucking unforgettable riffs.
Right. And there's
no, wait. That part, sorry.
There's an evolutionary aspect to Metallica as well that is not present in their the big four.
Yeah.
And their contemporaries of the 80s. Like, Megadeth is Megadeth, Slayer is Slayer, Anthrax is Anthrax. It's all the same. From album to album, largely it's all the same.
Yeah. There was a maturity,
right,
in Metallica's songwriting that I think came from Hetfield mostly.
Probably. Well, I mean,
feel like it came from.
He was the principal, at least lyric writer.
Yeah.
So, like,
there's no more introspective lyric writer in metal. Maybe like something like maybe Maynard, or there's a couple of the bands that are very introspective, but I think he did a lot of it not even really knowing it.
Right. I'm so thankful that I got into heavy metal at an early age, because it introduced me to such, and people don't get it, that don't listen to heavy metal. People don't get the like elevated thoughts and theories and just different levels of introspection and ideas that metal has.
I just love, like, they were fucking, like, this, so much stuff on Master of Puppets is as crushing heavy as anything else, but it was also heavy just from a vibe standpoint, you know?
What the hell? Everything!